Ever feel like you want something powerful, unforgettable, but you only have a weekend to spare? You're in luck. Today we're diving into the absolute best miniseries of the 2010s. We're zigzagging through genres, vibes, and emotions, so buckle up for twists, turns, and top-tier TV. Smash that subscribe button, grab your binge snacks, and let's find your next obsession together. First up, imagine a single night out spiraling into an absolute nightmare that threatens to swallow your entire life. This series masterfully captures that descent into chaos, following a naive college kid who borrows his dad's cab for a party and ends up accused of a brutal murder. The magic here is in the gritty details. The claustrophobic jail cells, the worn-out lawyer who sees a flicker of innocence, and the justice system that feels like a relentless, soul-crushing machine. Riz Ahmed gives a performance that is nothing short of breathtaking. You feel his terror and confusion in your bones. For a raw look at how one mistake can change everything, the show you need to see is The Night Of. It's a masterclass in tension that will have you second-guessing everything. Alright, saddle up partners, because we're heading to the Wild West. But forget everything you think you know about Westerns. We follow a handsome outlaw on the run from his terrifying father figure. A man so chillingly evil, he makes your average villain look like a kitten. He stumbles into a town that's almost entirely populated by women, and let me tell you, these ladies are not damsels in distress. The cinematography is so stunning, it feels like you're watching a classic movie, but with a modern feminist twist that is just so refreshing. The shootouts are epic, and Merritt Weber steals every single scene she's in. This beautiful, brutal, and brilliantly subversive story is the Netflix Western Godless. I promise you, it's a ride worth taking. Okay, let's get serious for a moment. Some stories are so important they feel like required viewing for humanity. This 5-part series chronicles one of the most horrifying man-made disasters in history, and it does so with terrifying, meticulous detail. From the initial explosion to the desperate, heroic efforts to contain an invisible enemy, every frame is filled with a sense of dread. The show isn't just about the science of a nuclear meltdown, it's about the human cost of lies and the courage of those who spoke truth to power. Stellan Skarsgård and Emily Watson are phenomenal. This powerful, unforgettable viewing experience is HBO's masterpiece, Chernobyl. It's a tough watch, but an absolutely essential one. Ready to have your mind completely blown? This next one takes a legendary graphic novel, throws it in the blender with modern-day social commentary, and creates something new and unapologetically weird. Set decades after the original story, it explores a world shaped by vigilantes, tackling heavy-hitting themes like racial trauma and police brutality. Regina King is an absolute force as a masked cop navigating a society on the brink. I remember watching the first episode and just thinking, I have no idea what's happening, but I am 100% in. The show that pulls off this incredible high-wire act is Watchmen. It's a bold, brilliant remix that's more of a reckoning than a superhero story. From masks to deep-seated scars, our next pick is a Southern Gothic mystery that will crawl under your skin and stay there. Based on a Gillian Flynn novel, yes, the Gone Girl author, it follows a journalist played flawlessly by Amy Adams who returns to her suffocating small town to report on a string of gruesome murders. But the real mystery is the web of family trauma and self-destruction she has to untangle. Patricia Clarkson plays her mother with a chilling, manipulative grace that deserves all the awards. The editing is genius, making you feel as disoriented as the main character. This unforgettable psychological thriller is Sharp Objects. It's a show that's as beautiful as it is deeply disturbing. This next series is a gut punch, a powerful, infuriating, and profoundly moving true story that demanded the world's attention. It dramatizes the real-life case of 5 teenagers of color from Harlem who were wrongfully convicted of a horrific crime they did not commit. Over 4 intense episodes, it follows their journey from vibrant, hopeful kids to men fighting for their lives and their truth against a broken system. The performances from the young cast are simply astonishing. They carry the weight of this story with so much heart and humanity. This isn't just entertainment. It's a vital piece of storytelling that sparked a national conversation. The powerful series you absolutely must see is When They See Us. It's a landmark moment in television that will stay with you forever. Who says a quiet life can't be the most dramatic of all? If you're looking for a story that finds the epic in the everyday, this one is for you. Spanning 25 years in a small Maine town, it centers on a prickly, difficult, and deeply complicated woman and the life she touches. Frances McDormand gives a career-best performance, and that's saying something, as the title character, a woman who is brutally honest and often unlikable, but also fiercely loyal and profoundly human. There are no explosions, but the emotional depth here is staggering. You can settle in for this unforgettable character study, Olive Kitteridge. The performances alone make it required viewing. All right, from the quiet home front to the front lines of World War II. If you are a fan of Band of Brothers, get ready for its equally epic companion piece. Produced by the legendary duo of Tom Hanks and Spielberg, this series shifts the focus to the Pacific Theater, following the real-life accounts of 3 Marines. It's a visceral, unflinching portrayal of the war, showcasing a different kind of hell, brutal island-hopping campaigns, and a determined enemy. It's gritty, immersive, and a powerful tribute to the sacrifices made. The sweeping historical war drama that will leave you speechless is The Pacific. It's an absolute must-watch for any fan of the genre. Okay, who's ready to be terrified? But what if I told you the scariest ghosts are the ones we carry inside us? This show reinvented the haunted house story for a new generation. It's about a family forced to confront their ghosts of the past, both literal and metaphorical, after growing up in the most famous haunted house in America. The story jumps between their traumatic childhood and their fractured adult lives, weaving a tale of grief and family dysfunction that is just as terrifying as any jump scare. I'm a huge baby when it comes to horror, but I was glued to this because the characters felt so real. The show that perfectly blends family trauma with genuine terror is The Haunting of Hill House. It's a brilliant, heartbreaking, and genuinely scary family drama. Last but not least, what if you had the chance to change history for the better? The series based on a Mammoth King novel asks just that. A high school teacher, played by James Franco, discovers a time portal that takes him back to the 1960s with a mission: prevent the assassination of JFK. But here's the catch: the past doesn't want to be changed. It pushes back in unexpected and dangerous ways. It's not just a sci-fi thriller, it's a romance, a period piece, and a meditation on fate and nostalgia. Your final fantastic binge for the weekend is the Hulu original 11/22/63. Trust me, you won't be able to stop watching. And that's our whirlwind tour of 10 of the absolute best miniseries the 2010s had to offer. What a decade, right? The talent, the stories, the sheer guts to tell a complete story and walk away. I want to know what you think. Did your favorite make the cut? Is there a hidden gem I totally missed? Drop your picks in the comments below. Let's build the ultimate binge watching list together. And if you had fun geeking out with me, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe to Series Finder, and ring that bell so you never miss our next deep dive. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, happy binging.